Hey guys, Dr. Jason LaMarche here. Just wanted to give you a quick update about what we're learning about the coronavirus. If you've been following me at all, then you probably know that most people who are at a really high risk are the ones that have things like cardiovascular disease, congestive heart failure, smokers, diabetes, that sort of thing. So it's people that are already pretty sick. But one of the things that we're starting to look at now is how COVID causes clotting. Some are saying that this is not even a lung disease, it's more of a blood vessel disease. So they're seeing a lot of inflammation of the inside of blood vessels called the endothelium, causing a lot of inflammation leading to clotting. As a matter of fact, all the little blood vessels that go to the air sacs of your lungs, which are called alveoli, they're just not sending blood anymore. So it's like the vessels are dying because of the inflammation. So typically, like if somebody has a really bad lung infection, like pneumonia, for example, the lungs get rigid. So it's really, really difficult to get air in. And that's why ventilators are really helpful. But for people that have COVID, these ventilators are not helping that much. The people that get put on ventilators, like 90% of them are dying. So it's not helping a lot. Now, I mentioned clotting. So what we're seeing is they're clotting so badly that when people are drawing blood, they're building clots in the tubes. When they're running IVs, they're clotting in the lines. Like it's really, really bad. So they're not really sure why. But the idea is, if you've heard me talk about the cytokine storm, it's basically when the body goes into a really, really heavy inflammatory response. It's basically like last-ditch efforts. The body knows it's breaking down, it's fighting something. It causes a ton of inflammation to try to fight off the threat. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But they think because of this inflammation, it's just causing so much swelling of the vessels, that's what's building up the clots. But again, it's not healthy people. I want you guys to know this, right? So it's really important we understand this. We don't act super emotional or objective. We're learning about the science, so that we can get out there, not live in fear, and we can go back to living our lives how we want to. Now, going back to me saying the lungs are not rigid like somebody who's getting pneumonia, right? If there's not enough blood going to the lungs, that would explain why their oxygen saturation is so low. So it's not really the lungs that's not working, it's the fact that there's no blood going there to absorb oxygen into the vessels. Now, about these vessels being super inflamed, that would explain why oxygen saturation is so low in people that are having this disease. A lot of times they don't even know it until they start bringing up their blood pressure and they have to, increase their demand for breathing, like if you're exercising or something. So if you don't know what a pulse oximeter is, you can buy these on Amazon. They should be maybe $40. You can buy cheap ones. You just clamp it to your finger and it will measure your oxygen saturation in your blood. These are great to have, for any time, not just for something like this, but your oxygen saturation should be like 98% or higher. But some people are dropping like 70 or even lower and they have no idea that they have low O2 in their blood. So this is important. If you want to just monitor this, make sure you are not having any of the symptoms or you're not going to be impacted by this disease. This is a great option, much better, I think, than getting something like a thermometer. Right? You can feel your fever. You can't feel your O2 saturation. So spend the money, buy an O2 or buy a pulse oximeter rather on Amazon. So as time goes on, I think we are definitely learning a lot about how this virus operates inside the human body. And for me, it's giving me a lot of confidence. Definitely a lot of faith in going back to normal because it is showing to be not as harmful as originally thought. I'm glad we took precautions, no question. I think it's definitely better to be safe than sorry. But I think the more we learn, the more we're going to be able to get back to normal sooner than later. So if you guys have any questions, I hope you learned something from this video, and I'm going to keep trying to put them out as much as I possibly can to keep you informed. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment, send me an email. Talk to you soon.